In yesterday's video, I described to you how I, an English major, ended up working in investment banking, and today I'd like to tell you why I'm really glad that I did. So my choice when I graduated, as I saw it, was to choose between very low paid or unpaid internships, part-time jobs, fellowships, things I could kind of cobble together to get a foot in the door in an industry that I really wanted to work in. And for me, those were publishing, journalism, or, new media. Or to apply to what I thought of as soulless corporate jobs, which paid more than minimum wage, or honestly, I would have settled for minimum wage, and wasn't something that I necessarily cared about, but was a way that I could just pay the bills, figure out what was next, build out my resume. And I chose the second. I'm really glad I did. So here are the reasons that I'm really glad I don't do work that speaks to my soul. For one, it forces me out of my comfort zone. I've had to learn about subjects that I knew nothing about. I've had to learn skills that I did not have. I've had to learn how to conduct myself in ways that I otherwise wouldn't have had to. As a recruiting intern, I had to make dozens of phone calls a day. I am an introvert. I knew nothing about finance, and I was calling finance majors at some of the best undergrad and graduate programs in the world to ostensibly ask them questions and judge their potential fit for open roles at a gigantic bank. I didn't know how to do that, and yet I learned. I've had to navigate totally different social and professional situations. I've had to learn to advocate for myself, how to keep going when someone says really sexist things to me, how to ask questions when I am the youngest and least qualified person in the room, and how to tell people much more senior and much more important than me that I think that they're wrong. This has been a total fish out of water situation, but now I'm comfortable there, and it's almost like I'm socially and professionally bilingual in a way that has actually opened so many doors for me professionally. So that brings me to reason number 2 why I love my soulless corporate day job. Being good at multiple things, especially if they're two very different things, is really, really valuable. It's useful and convenient, but it's also valuable in terms of money. About a year and a half ago, I started a business called Beehive Resumes. I am both really, really good at hiring people from a corporate point of view, and I'm an internet weirdo. I can understand the new media experience and translate it into the corporate lingo. And so that's made me a really, really good resume editor and career coach. Never would have learned how to do those things for myself, much less other people, if I hadn't worked in the setting that was totally alien to me. It's also, importantly, not what I do for fun. And I really love that when I come home from work, I can make a video blog, I can record a podcast, I can write a blog post or a piece of fan fiction, or go on Tumblr, or think really critically about what does VR mean for journalism, because I don't deal with that shit in my day, I have 10 hours of work every single day in an office where sometimes I'm bored, sure, and sometimes I'm overwhelmed, and sometimes I think what the hell am I sitting here for, but I don't get burned out on the things that bring me joy. And that has been so huge for my mental health as I've kind of figured out how to be an independent adult post-school. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts, answer your questions, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Motorcycle. In fact, that's a car honking at a motorcycle. # New York City.